Listen, Elon Musk does not understand short selling stocks. And I get it. Elon Musk is much smarter than I am. He's very successful. He's a billion times more successful than I am. So that's not the point. The point here is that the example he uses that seems to be catching on, and I'm going to show you how it is catching on, it's just not right. It's simply not right. And if you disagree with shorting, that's fine. I can respect that all day long. If you don't want to, we can agree to disagree. There's no harm in that. But if you're going to use poor logic on why you disagree and why shorting is bad, and quite frankly, it's just not true, well, then I want to get that cleared up because I've had this stuff start to be tossed in my face. And, Elon is kind of the source that is being cited. And to give one example of this, I got this comment here on one of my YouTube videos, and this comes from Dan, and Dan says, CKOSS or JAN this past week, shorties were burned. Shorties are scumbags of society. Elon is right. You can't sell a house you don't own. You can't sell a car you don't own. Yet you can sell shares you don't own. Shorties have lost billions in 2020. Burn lowlives. Whew, damn, that's intense. So just to give a little more context, some of you maybe aren't even familiar with this tweet that Elon Musk put out there, but if I knew how to work my phone, I could bring it up here. What in the world? There we go. Okay, we'll put up on the screen, but anyways. So this is the tweet that Dan was referring back to. You can't sell houses you don't own. You can't sell cars you don't own, but you can sell stock you don't own. This is BS. Shorting is a scam. Legal only for vestigial reasons. And here's the thing. You 100% can sell a house you don't own. You 100% can sell a car you don't own. It happens all the time. And like I said, if you already know how this process works, then fine. I'm assuming you're not one of these people that's actually believing this logic that Elon's throwing out there. But here you have a house, right? And a house has, in most cases, now if this is not the case for you, hey, well done. Seriously, fantastic, good for you. But in the vast majority of cases, you have this, that's supposed to be a chain. And down here, you have a big old ball that is known as debt. Or better known as a mortgage, right? You have mortgage payments. A mortgage payment is actually just paying the debt. Who owns the house? Well, that becomes a question of, well, who owns the debt? Because if you do not make your mortgage payment, guess what happens? You don't get the house anymore. Guess who gets to take it? The true owner of the house, which happens to be the debt holder, which is the bank, right? So the bank actually owns your house. Now, if you have no mortgage, hey, you own it kind of, but then you still have property taxes that you would have to pay. And if you don't pay those, then the government, but I won't go down that rabbit hole. But for simplicity's sake, you don't own the house. The bank owns the house because you have the debt tied to it. However, to make the math easy, let's just say that the debt that you owe is $100. But then you go out there and say, you know what? I want to sell my house. So you go out there and you sell it for $500. Are you allowed to do that? You're absolutely allowed to sell something you don't own. As long as you can pay off the debt. So when the deal is done, you're going to take that $500. You're going to say, here you go, Mr. Bank. There's that $100 I owe you. And you're going to walk away with what? You're going to walk away with $400. So you absolutely just sold something that you don't own. And a stock is the same. Well, first off, you're not selling it, meaning the other person just doesn't have any control over it anymore. You borrow the stock and then you sell it. But you still owe to somebody. So it's not like it's just gone. It's not like you just take from somebody and sell it and then that's all there is. Hey, no. A short seller has this attached to them. They have that ball and chain. Because at some point, you need to actually go and buy that. And this is, and I'll probably do another video on this, but this is why I don't understand why people are so upset at shorts. You need to realize that shorts are guaranteed buyers. And if you ask me, if there are guaranteed buyers in a stock in any situation, that's actually pretty good. Because if you can make those people have to buy, which at some point they will, well, then that's going to be a good situation for their stock. And again, how do they become guaranteed buyers? Well, because they have that ball and chain. Yeah, they borrowed stock to sell it, but it's not selling it in the sense of, hey, it's just gone. It's gone. They just sold it. No, that's not it at all. You got to go back. You have to buy those shares in the market and return them to their owner, which is, in other words, repaying that debt. So, I mean, this whole logic of you can't sell stuff you don't own, you absolutely can. Have you ever sold a car before? Right? Now, if you sell a car for less than it's worth, well, then you're either not allowed to do that or you have to bring extra money to even things out. But this whole idea is, hey, unless you own it, you can't sell it. That's not good logic. And maybe the title of this is a little clickbaity because I'm sure Elon Musk knows what short selling is. I'm sure he knows how it all works. But like I said, when you see people like Dan running around calling shorts the scumbags of society, and they're scumbags because they're selling stuff that they don't own, that's just not true. That's just not true. So hopefully this video kind of at least just opens up your eyes to why that's not true, why shorting is actually not a big deal. Because again, the shorts have that ball and chain tied to them. They are guaranteed buyers, which is a good thing. And if a company does what it's supposed to do, aka Tesla, there's going to be short squeezes. There's going to be situations where you have all these people, because of that ball and chain, having to buy, and that's just going to cause prices to go up that much further. So, I mean, it's not a bad thing. If you are running your company the right way, if you are turning a profit, if you are growing it, if you are expanding, and if the market likes your company, then having a bunch of guaranteed buyers in it, I mean, that's a good thing. I mean, I could argue you're actually the evil one. If you buy Tesla stock, that's evil because you're a guaranteed seller. In order for you to make money, you have to sell that stock. That's kind of evil. Little scumbag, you're going to sell somebody's stock. Whereas a short gets to say, no, if I want to make money, I have to actually go and buy the stock. So just a couple things for you to think about. But don't go down that rabbit hole of, oh, geez, you can't sell a house because you don't own it. Yes, you absolutely can. So hopefully this helped. Hopefully this opens your eyes. If you have any other suggestions or if you've seen any other kind of thought process out there that you want me to address, leave those down in the comment section, and I'll try to maybe open a little eyes and open up kind of some different angles of thought. And also hit that like button. Check out the channel. A lot of videos on it. And hopefully you decide to hit that subscribe button, as I'd love to have you as a subscriber to the channel. First off, thanks so much for watching the entire video. Real quick, before you go, I want to invite you to a live webinar, web class, training, workshop, online event, whatever you want to call it, but it will be me live revealing to you what I've discovered that has allowed me to transform myself from being an employee to being my own boss, including how I had only one losing day out of 73 days in total. I'm going to cover 3 keys that have helped me unlock profitable consistency within the markets. The first key is super weird, but in a productive type of way. The second key is super awesome because it quite literally is wired into our DNA as humans, making it very easy to use. But in a cruel way, this becomes a pitfall for many traders. I'll explain it all though, including how to avoid the pitfall that it creates for some. And yeah, the third key, when you hear it, sounds way too good to be true, but it's not, and I'll show you how it all works. Then at the end, I open it up for a question and answer session that is, again, totally live. Even if you can't make the live session, please still sign up as it will be recorded, and you can go back and watch the replay that I will send you. Click the image on the screen or click the link down in the description box so you can get the date and time and claim your spot, which I should note is limited due to the fact that this truly is a live event. If you have any questions, let me know. If not, I'll be seeing you soon.